All right, take two of this video. Oh my god, I made a, I don't know, 40-minute video. I thought I pressed play and I didn't press play, so this will be the second try. Right, so that means I have to start now. Okay. The title of this video is How You Came to Be a Nice Girl Obsessed with Being Liked. I'm going to approach this video from us being creator beings who descended who descended to come and experience this physical 3D experience that we're experiencing. I like doing it this way because I like going to the root of things. I like going to the beginning. You know, I'd like to try and understand why certain things happen, and I like to go to the very beginning. And I've found out that through my other videos that I've done that I have to go beyond the physical 3D human experience, because that's where it began for us. Now I cannot go as far back as where creation started, but I can go beyond the physical 3D human experience. Before I start, I want to do these videos because I want to help nice girls who are obsessed with being liked to start to come out of it a little bit, because as a nice girl myself who has come out of it, I haven't completely come out of being a nice girl who wants to be liked, but I have made some strides. The way I did it, well, the way it happened for me is I was listening to another lady who was making this video. She's called Shira7, and I started listening to her in 2017, and she was very, very instrumental in my journey from being a complete nice girl who was just a doormat to everyone and everything in relationships and in whatever, and to being a little bit, to being more selfish in a way that I put myself first. I don't. That doesn't mean I discard everybody and just do whatever I want to do. But I have managed to put myself first. I've managed to learn how to put myself first and not feel bad about it. Not feel bad about doing that, and that has helped me a lot. Helped me a lot in my relationships. Helped me a lot in other parts of my life. And the reason why she was so instrumental in my journey was because when I started listening to her, she was making videos every day. I think she still does, but I'm not really listening to her as much as I used to, because most of the things she teaches I've learned and I've experienced, so I've just moved on. But yeah, I have a lot of respect for her, and yeah, at that time when I started listening to her in 2017, I was listening to her videos like all day, every day. She'd make a video every day, and sometimes she'd even make 2 videos. And her videos were long, like 2-3 hours sometimes, and I enjoyed listening to them. Sometimes I wouldn't fall asleep listening to her. And that helped me in brainwashing myself to come out of the nice girl autopilot that I was in. I've realized that most of the videos about how to stop being a nice girl on YouTube and on other places, how to stop being a nice girl, how to stop being a doormat in relationships, in other areas of your life. Most of the time, people only make one video, or maybe they just say it like, as if like a nice girl can just stop. If she could stop being a nice girl, she would have stopped. if even though we all have choice, but if she could stop just like that, she would have stopped. But the reason why she cannot just stop is because she's been doing this for so long. She's been doing this maybe all her life. And for someone to just tell you that, stop being a nice girl, it's not gonna work. It's, just one time. It's easy to say these things, but it's these things are so ingrained in our psyche and in our bodies that it's not usually it's not effective to just listen to one video and just stop. So for me, um, everybody's journey is different, but for me, my journey, I had to listen to her videos like all day, every day for 2 years. But I enjoyed listening to them too. So it wasn't really like I was like, it was like a chore. I enjoyed listening to her videos. So by 2009, 2020, I was like completely out of, in certain parts, I was completely out of being a nice girl. And like I said, it changed my life for the better because I didn't feel bad about putting myself first again, which is what I used to feel. Right, and so this is what I want to be for nice girls who are obsessed with being liked. They know that, they know that they want to change, and they know that the way they are is not really serving them, but they just cannot seem to get out of it. And like I said, the way I'm going to approach it from us being creator beings, because I like to, like I said, I like to go to the source, because that's what helps me understand how it all started and why we had to do certain things, and hopefully you will too. This video will help you too. Right. So before we go into the video, I would like to talk about how how being a nice girl or being liked actually became a thing for the collective consciousness. Like I said, okay, before we came to this physical 3D world, we were pure positive energy, pure creative energies, vibration, and we manifested at warp speed because this was before we came down to the 3D world. And so manifestation was not manifestation did not happen in 3D form. It just happened in vibration. You think of something in your imagination and you feel it and you vibrate it, and so therefore manifestation was done like that. And also we were gods. We still are gods actually. So we didn't have things like fear and doubt because it wasn't needed. Everything existed as it is, as in its essence, and we didn't have good and evil, in those times. So in those realms, so therefore fear and all those things did not exist, and therefore doubt did not exist. So if you don't have doubt, then you manifest like that. When we decided to come down, to descend to this physical 3D earth, to experience the physical 3D limited human experience, we had to diminish ourselves. We had to diminish ourselves to become human. What I'm trying to say is that when you starting off with being a god as a non-physical, as pure positive non-physical energies and pure positive vibrations and all of that, in order to become a 3D form, 3D limited human form, that is more focused on physical manifestations, we had to diminish our non-physical being, non-physical essence. Because the reason why we came down to this physical 3D world is to slow down the process of creation so we could watch and experience the unfolding of our creation. That was the reason why we came down, why we descended. We just wanted to, because we just wanted to enjoy the process of unfolding, of the unfolding of our creation. I don't know, maybe at some point we got tired of creating things like that, and we said, okay, let's go down, let's go to a physical 3D realm so we can create time, we can create things that will slow down the process of creation. And in order for us to do that, we have to diminish ourselves. Because think about it, if you're a god that creates at warp speed like that, and you create at warp speed, you're a creator. Creation is just like child's play. In order for you to believe that the process of creation is, in order for you to believe that the process of creation is slowing down, or in order for you to believe, in order for you to fully be in the human experience, fully be participating in the human experience where creation is slowed down, where the process of creation is slowed down, you have to forget that you are a god. You have to have amnesia, and you have to diminish yourself. You have to diminish your god essence, because if you didn't diminish it, you wouldn't be able to fully, you wouldn't be fully immersed into this physical 3D human experience. It's like watching a movie and constantly saying, this is not real, this is not real. You're sitting there, watching a movie, like like for instance, you're at the cinema, and you're sitting there constantly saying that, oh, these people are on a screen, this is not real, this is what they're doing, this is like, I'm sitting here, I'm watching you guys, this is not real, this is not, um, I'm making a video, this is not real, this is, this is, you guys are playing, you didn't really die, like for instance, if you're watching a movie where somebody dies, constantly sitting there, you didn't really die, this is a movie, and it's boring, it's not exciting. You have to suspend judgment to be able to enjoy the movie, which is what we had to do. We have to suspend judgment. We have to suspend the judgment. Yeah, we have to suspend the judgment of being gods, so we could play this physical 3D human experience. We also have to create time and space. Time, as in the slowing down of the process of creation. We also have to create space, the illusion of space and the illusion of time, to believe that when I'm creating something, there is a space between my creation, my thought, the beginning of my creation, which is thought, and the physical 3D manifested form, which is all an illusion. There is no space. You can create like that, because what you're creating, it doesn't respond to what you're creating doesn't respond to how would I say it? It doesn't respond to physical 3D laws. I don't want to say that, but what I'm trying to get at is what you're creating when you start thinking about something, when you start desiring something, which means you're asking for something. Your creation is created. It's already created. You already have it. It's already in another realm. So there's no space. There's no space and there's no time existing. The only reason why there's time and space is because of the other two things that we also have to create, which is fear and shame, when we came down to this physical 3D world. All in service of slowing down the process of creation. So where was I? Where was I going with this? Yeah, so we had to diminish ourselves, and we had to create all of these other things to really immerse in this human experience, in this limited human experience. We had to create the illusion of time. We had to create, because before, when we were gods, there was no time and all that. Everything existed at once. So the moment you imagine something, it exists, even if it's in another realm, just like where we are now. We had to create space, distance, We had to create fear and shame. And this is where the diminishment also came in, to be fully immersed into it. And we had to suspend judgment, and we had to have amnesia to forget that we are actually gods, that the greater part of us is non-physical essence, like, that the greater part of us is intuition, is emotion, and feeling, that it's only a small part of us that is the physical 3D, body, the physical 3D form. We had to do all of this to be fully immersed into the physical 3D human experience. We also had to, while we were doing this, we also had to create a structure, a frame, to create a collective consciousness within which we are going to play this game. I don't exactly know why we had to do this, why we had to create this frame, but I do know that part of the explanation is that we were not ready yet in this physical 3D realm to be fully individuated gods. While we were diminishing ourselves to be a physical 3D human, we have to create a frame or a structure within which this diminishment will play, within which this diminishment will play out. And that is the collective human consciousness, which is also the collective victim consciousness, because we believe that we need each other to create, which is not true. We don't really need each other to create, but only a God will know that. A person who hasn't forgotten truly that they are God, they will know that their creation comes from the inside out, it doesn't come from the outside in. But we have to create this frame, this collective frame, where the diminishment, like I said, the diminishment will play out, and it being liked is one of the things that we had to play with, or that we still are playing with, actually. Because being liked, or being obsessed with being liked, means that you are always going to seek it from outside. Okay, let me get my thoughts together, because I feel like I'm just jumbling everything up. Okay. Being liked was also one of the things that served the collective. The collective consciousness, the frame of consciousness that we created, had to be glued together by certain things, and being liked is one of them. Because think about it, if we created a collective consciousness and nobody gave a damn about being liked, nobody gave a damn about anybody else, then there will be no collective consciousness. Because if I don't care about what anyone thinks about me, and I really, really, truly don't care about what anything thinks about, and I don't care about whether people like me, because I know that I'm a creator God, and I know that I create from the inside out, then the collective cannot hold. There has to be things to keep the collective intact. And yes, like I said, being liked was one of the things that we needed to create to serve the diminishment, and also to serve the collective. And this is why, especially if you're a nice girl, you became obsessed with being liked, because you bought into it more. Most of us bought into it anyway. Most of us bought into this being liked thing that we created to serve the collective, because that's how we could create this collective consciousness. And this is not to say that we are victims. We decided to do this. We decided to create this. We all participated in the creation of the collective, and being liked was one of the things that will keep the collective together. having the same values, having the same beliefs, having the same standards and all of those things. We decided to do this, even though it may seem as an unconscious thing, but we all decided to do this. So, as nice girls bought into this illusion more. I will explain to you guys why it's an illusion. Hopefully I won't forget. Let me just take a note, because yeah. Okay, so I've said a lot. And I hope you guys are following what I'm saying. I know it can be a bit, I don't think it's complicated. It's just that, it's just a perspective that I am holding, that I want to share. Okay, yeah. So we needed to have something to glue the collective consciousness together, and being like was one of those things. We were not victims. We all decided to do this. We all decided to participate in this because we were not ready yet to be fully individuated girls. I already said all of this. Okay, the nice girl bought into this illusion much more than somebody who is more individuated, somebody who doesn't really rely on other people to tell them who they are and whatnot. Okay, so let me go into how you came to be. Let me go into the meat of the video, which is how you came to be a nice girl obsessed with being liked. The first thing the first thing that made you become a nice girl obsessed with being liked is you were brainwashed to believe that things come to you from other people. Things come from you to the physical 3D world. Oh, things come to you from the physical 3D world, yeah. As a creator God who is more of non-physical essence, non-physical vibration, non-physical energy, more than a physical being. When you were in the non-physical realm, you were still creating. You weren't creating form, but you were still creating, and you were creating from your thought, from your vibration, and from your energies, and from your feeling. And you feel good, you feel pleasure, and the vibration, the imagination, and the vibration that you feel were your creations. Even though they were non-physical, they were still your creations. You didn't need anybody. You didn't need other energies, other gods to help you with that. Because think about it, you created these things from your imagination, your individual imagination, and from your individual thought, and from your individual energies, and from your individual vibrations. You didn't need other people. You're doing the same thing here. When you manifest something, let's say for instance you want a new car, you want a BMW, or you want a new house. The creative process, or the process of creation, the process of creating that house, or the process of creating that BMW, starts and begins with you. Nobody helps you. Nobody gives it to you. It may seem like it comes from somebody from the outside to you, but that's not how it is. That's how we see it, but that's not how it is. You had the imagination, you had the thought, you nurtured the thought through your desire, through pure positive expectation, and you created, and because you had, and through knowing and being in alignment with your thoughts, and because of that, you created, you triggered forces, universal forces, to bring the BMW to you. Now, because we live in the physical 3D world, the BMW is going to come to you through physical means. It may come to you from a person. It may come to you from another person as a gift. It may come to you by maybe you receiving money from somebody else and you going to buy it. It may come to you by you just going to the what do you call it, car lot, and going and buying it for yourself. Or it may even come, yeah, like I said, like it may even come to you through a gift, or in whatever means. But that doesn't mean that it came from that person per se, or from that car lot, or it didn't come from those things. You created it from your thought and from your imagination and from being in alignment with your thought. And the physical 3D manifestation was presented to you. It became physical 3D manifested form. It appeared. That's the proper word. It appeared. Yeah. Granted, you're a physical 3D being. You're gonna receive it through a physical means, but it appeared because of your own creation, your own process of creation, which is by thought, imagination, being in alignment, feeling good, feeling pleasure, knowing that you're gonna get it, and having pure positive expectation. But because we have forgotten that the larger part of us is non-physical, we think that these things come to us from other people. And also because we've been brainwashed to believe that. And like I said, we are not victims. The brainwashing didn't come from outside. We all participated in this to experience the physical 3D realm. But because we bought into, especially the nice girl, bought into this illusion for so much, so much, and she thinks that things come from her to, things come to her from other people. She has to be invested in being nice, because if we exist in a collective where being nice is what is required, and also you think that you get things from other people, then you're gonna have to be nice. Because, and also, since you were young, you were probably told, most of us were told that you have to be nice, you have to be nice to people, don't do that, don't say that, share your toys, be nice to your uncle, be nice to your auntie, and you learned as you were growing up that being nice is what I need to be to get things, because things come from me, from other people. I can't create things for myself, because you forgot that you are a god. And so this is why you are more obsessed. You are obsessed with being liked, because you think things come from you. Things come to you from other people. You've forgotten that you are the creator. You are the creator of your reality, and you are the creator of all of your manifestations. And you don't need other people to have things, even though the things will come through other people, but they are not coming from them. They are coming from you. I don't know if I'm explaining this clearly, but you can go back and listen again. Okay, the second point I have is that you are brainwashed to believe that the world will always take care of you and will offer you security. Yeah, this is also one of the brainwashing. We had to brainwash ourselves to believe that, in order to participate in the collective consciousness that we've created, and also to participate in the limited human experience. We have to believe that other people or the world is going to give us all of the things that we need, or it's going to give us all of the things that we need. It's going to give us our happiness and our pleasure. Otherwise, if we didn't believe that, we're not gonna participate in the 3D limited human experience, and we're not gonna participate in creating a collective consciousness. There have to be things that will glue this collective consciousness together, and these are things that we had to brainwash ourselves with in order to create this. But all of these are illusions, because the world does not give you things, and other people, the world does not take care of you. You take care of yourself by creating your reality from the inside, with your thought and your imagination, your emotions. You're feeling good about, which is all emotion, and that's how you take care of yourself. But it seems, which is the illusion, that it's the world taking care of you. And this is also why we have governments and systems that make it seem like they are taking care of us, but really no, they are not. And also the illusion is that you will be taken care of, but you can never fully, you'll be taken care of, but there's only a limit to the taking care of you that they can do, because you can never fully express yourself. You can never be fully you. If you are participating in a collective consciousness where you have to be liked because you believe that things come to you from other people, then you can never fully be truly yourself. Because anytime you're truly and fully expressed, you're going against the grain. You're going against the collective consciousness, which says you have to be liked, which means the collective have to agree on what it means to be liked. What does it mean to be liked? That means you have to be a certain way to everybody or to most people, and that will oftentimes go against what you believe or what you truly are, which is why most people are fully expressed, which is why most people are living a life of, like Henry David Thoreau said, quiet desperation, because they cannot fully be themselves, because people are going to come after you. And it doesn't matter whether people come after you, but as long as you're fully expressed. But most people haven't, had the courage to be that. So, yeah. The other illusion that we were brainwashed with is the illusion that the other illusion that we are brainwashed with is that you were brainwashed into believing that being liked is the highest good. And we've heard this from people, especially from myself, the culture I came from, and the belief system and the values is. You always hear people say that being liked is better than being liked is the most respectable thing. Being liked is the most important thing. Being a good person, being a nice person is the most being a good person, and being liked is not the most important thing. Because what is good means different things to different people. That's number one. Number two, being liked, like I said, if you have to be liked, that means you're always going to be a slave, because you have to acquiesce to what other people define as this is what being liked means. And that might go against what you truly are and what you truly believe in. So therefore, being liked and being nice to people in service of being liked is not the highest good. It's a form of enslavement. Being true to yourself, being fully expressed as a true human, as a true spiritual being who's experiencing the human experience, that's the highest good. Because when you're fully fully expressed, you also cause the expansion of the universe to be faster. But I don't want to go into all of that. But so therefore, the brainwashing that being liked, is the highest good is also an illusion. And we have our entire social media is geared towards this illusion of being liked, like Facebook, where you look for likes, Instagram, all of the social media platform, they feed on this illusion. And like I said, we are not victims. We created this. So but yeah, this is why you are obsessed with being liked, because you believe in the illusion that being liked is the highest good, but it's not. Being fully and truly expressed as who you are, as an individual being, that is the highest good. The fourth point that I have is you believe that the world created the real you, and so therefore they have power over you. Yeah. Before we came to this physical 3D world, we were non-physical energy, non-physical vibration. And we each had our individual vibrations, our individual thoughts, individual emotions, and energies. When we descended to this physical 3D world and became physical 3D form, into masculine or feminine, and whatever, however you see yourself as, we participated in the definition of what that means. The collective decided what it means to be a man. The collective decided what it means to be a man. The collective decided what it means to be a woman. The collective decided this is how a man should look like. This is what a man should be doing. This is how a man thinks. This is what a man looks like. This is how a man should perform like. So, and the same thing with being a woman. The collective that decided this. That this is what it means to be a woman. This is how a woman looks like. This is how a woman should talk like. This is how a woman should be like, and all that, And we all participate in this. And I know most of us, we say that, no, I look the way I want to look. Nobody had anything to do with this. But this is not true. We have all been influenced. The way I look right now, I got a lot of influence on how a woman should look like from the collective. The way I dress is influenced a lot by what the collective says. This is how a woman should dress like. Most of us, well, not most of us, all of us came into this 3D physical world where, at different times where these decisions had already been made. And so we just bought into it. We participated in it before we came, but as we came to the physical 3D world too, we bought into it more. And because we bought into it heavily, and because we've forgotten that we are actually gods, and a larger part of us exists in the non-physical realm, we think that it is the collective that created us. We think that the collective, like for instance, we think that, like I would say, that the collective is what created me as a woman, because it's the collective that decided that I should look like this, I should dress like this, I should act like this. This is how, the way I act, very little of it has to do with who I truly am. Especially when I go out in the public, from the way you walk, from the way I walk, from the way you relate to people, all of these are collective decisions that we made unconsciously, but we made them nonetheless. And so because the collective, when we descended to this 3D world, has had so much influence on how we are created in our physical form, we think that the collective is what created us. But the collective did not create the real you. The real you existed long, 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 long before you came to this physical 3D world. And so therefore, because we think that the collective created us, we think that the collective has power over us. Think about it. When you think that something created you, you think that person, you're going to think that person has power over you because they created you. And this is why we seek validation from the collective so much. We seek so much validation. We think without the collective's input, we're just going to die off and not exist at all. But that's not true. But it's because we have this, because we've forgotten where we came from, and we we believe in this illusion where we think that it's the collective that created the real us. That's why we seek to be liked. We seek to be we seek validation from the collective. Um, and yeah, because we think they have power over us, we also we allow the collective to elevate and diminish us. When you give something power over you, it can elevate you and diminish you at will. Today they can say, well, I don't like you, or I don't like the way you look, or just say something about not liking you, and tomorrow they can say I like you because because and they have that power over you because you believe that the collective created you. I keep repeating myself, but I know. Yeah, so these are the 4 points I have as to how you became to be obsessed with being liked. And this is specifically for the nice girl that is really, really obsessed with being liked. It's very ingrained, and it happened way before we came to this, well, before, as we came to this 3D world. And as a nice girl, you're the one that bought into the illusion a little bit more than someone who doesn't care that much about being liked. And this is all in service of sustaining the collective frame, sustaining the collective consciousness and the frame of the collective consciousness for a while, until we are ready to ascend to the next level. We had to participate in this for a while, until we are ready to move to be more individuated, to become gods again, to going back to being gods again, who are individuated gods. So it's not a bad thing. It's just in service of the process of evolution. But the reason why I am mentioning this, the reason why I'm talking about this is because, yeah, we are all in service of evolution. But there comes a time when you feel like you have to expand. And this is the time for us to expand. And in order for us to expand, we have to begin to individuate. So we have to begin to fully express who we are, regardless of what the collective values, regardless of what the collective says that we should be. And this is what is going to accelerate the process of creation. We did come to this 3D physical world to slow down the process of creation, so that we could watch the unfolding of our creation. But now, as we're entering a new age, we have the capability and the capacity to accelerate it. And the way we accelerate our creation is, one of the ways in which we accelerate our creation, our manifestations, is to be fully expressed as the true individuated gods that we are, who are not concerned about being liked by other people, by the world, because that's not because you understand the process of creation. Let me just say that, because you understand the process of creation, so you know that's not your concern. Yeah, I've said a lot. Sometimes I can repeat myself, but I feel like I have I feel like I have gone to the reason why, gone to talk about the reason why, of how you became to be a nice girl who's obsessed with being liked. And maybe you will have to watch this video maybe more than once to really understand what I'm talking about. And I hope that it will help you in seeing not just the bigger picture of creation, but also in seeing that you don't need to be liked. That's where I was. Yeah, that's what I wanted to get to. The nice girl thinks that she needs to be liked. She needs it, like, for her life essence. She needs it. It's a yeah. It's a matter of life and death for her. The nice girl who's obsessed with being liked. Yeah, it's a matter of life and death for her to be liked. This video, I hope this video will make it clear that you don't need it. You don't need to be liked. You are a creator God who creates from thought, imagination, feeling good, feeling pleasure, and with your intuition, and which is the gift of the masculine, and then the masculine element of creation pours the physical, the 3D form of your manifestation into the frame of your makes it into a physical 3D form. You don't need to be liked, you know. So yeah, this is where I was going with this video. I hope I did it justice. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I will be making more videos about this topic, about things that are related to this topic, and it will always be I'll try to always go to the source, because that's how I can, for me, that's how I can get out of it, and that's how I can get out of completely being a nice girl. Because for the longest time, for me too, I thought I needed it. I need to be liked, and it's a matter of survival. It's a matter of that if I'm not liked, then I cannot survive. I'm gonna die, you know. So for me, going to the source, going to understanding the process of creation, but also understanding myself as a non-physical being, but also as a physical being, helps me make sense of myself in this physical 3D world, but also helps me make sense of myself as a God, as a creator God. And it also helps me make sense of the things that I do to diminish myself, like which being liked, needing to be liked is one of them. It's easy for me to make sense of it when I approach the topic from the perspective of being a God. And I hope you will find value in this. I know you'll find value in this. I will be releasing my other videos that I did before this, and give you a chance to, listen to them, and hopefully we can expand and transcend this consciousness and be less of the type of person who needs to be liked, so we can fully express ourselves. We can truly be who we are, and not be in fear, because we understand that fear is a tool that we created to slow down the process of creation. See, understanding helps. It helps for me. Well, for me it helps, and I'm sure for you it will help too. So I think I've said enough, because I don't want to go on babbling and end up saying something that I didn't really want to say. Have a great evening wherever you are. Have a great morning, afternoon, or whatever time you are in. And I will see you again. I wanted to make another video. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go to the shop buy some food, and if I feel like it, I will come back and make another video. But until then, have a great afternoon or evening, wherever you are. Bye bye.